When the trip to your adventure is an adventure in itself, you know you are going to have some good stories to tell. But what is this adventure? Well, it's a 13-day trek in the Indian Himalayas put on by Gekken Company in the summer of 2012. This short video is a summary of this hike, which includes climbing up over Kongla Pass and Pote Pass at 18,500 feet. This video is just a teaser about the adventures that took place and the fantastic scenery that was discovered on this trip. This trek took place high in the Himalayas, 270 miles north of New Delhi, or 65 miles northwest of Manali. Our hike started near Udaipur and ended in Gulabgarh after 13 days and 80 miles. Our very first day had us wading through a sea of sheep and goats, prodded along by local shepherds. But we were soon on our way, heading up a beautiful mountain valley with sweeping mountains and gorgeous meadows, which made for wonderful hiking and great camping. The pleasant hiking lasted for the first 3 days, after which we were forced onto the moraine, rocks and boulders, stable and unstable, and up the steep sides of the river valley. In most cases, we were able to cross the streams by the best of bridges built by shepherds. But in a few places, the streams were too wide, swift, and deep. Cooperation is a must in order to get across the fast-flowing stream. Soon we were on Meyer Glacier, snow, ice, and rock, plus a dash of rain and snow. But the mountain views got better and better. We crossed crevasses, peppered across the large glacier, and had a close call where we had to rescue a porter who fell through a snow bridge, landing 10 feet down on a narrow ledge. After that, we roped up, threading our way amongst the crevasses. But best of all were the mountains, sharp, jagged, and snow-covered with huge hanging glaciers. 11 a.m. on the 8th day found us at 18,200 feet on Kongla Pass, the first goal of this expedition. A beautiful day with beautiful scenery, which required a group shot of the intrepid hikers. We spent only one night down at 14,000 feet until heading back up toward a high camp, which was just below Pote Pass. By mid-morning on day 9, we could see our new goal, Pote. The route to the high camp included some of the most rugged terrain I'd seen yet, with jagged, sharp peaks all around. Our camp that night was equally rugged. Sleeping on rock and ice in the sub-freezing night was a real treat. But the next morning was beautiful, leading to some really extraordinary views on our way to Pote. As we gained elevation, the views became even better. Pote Pass at 18,500 feet was something to behold. A lot different than Kongla, jagged and sharp, with many cairns and a steep cliff for the way down on the other side. The trail had to be cleared in order to safely make our way down 1,000 feet to the glacier far below. To make matters more interesting, it was cold with snow, making the rocks wet and slippery. The cliff was just one small part of the route down. We still had miles of moraine to traverse before we could gain the wide glacier far below. The glacier was a pleasure to hike on, but didn't last long. We spent the rest of the day hiking over miles and miles of wet, rocky, and unstable moraine, making this the most difficult day of the whole trek. After this, the rest of the trek was just a matter of hiking out along the Darling River, down another beautiful Himalayan river valley. On our way out the Darling River, we saw a lot more people than we did hiking in, up the Meyer River Valley. After going through the village of Marchel, after a 22-mile day, we finally made it to Gulab Gar, the end of our trek and the end of our energy. This trek was an adventure of a lifetime, never to be forgotten. This area of the Indian Himalayas contains some of the most rugged, isolated, but beautiful areas I've ever seen. If you can, I highly recommend an adventure into the Indian Himalayas.